take on the Los Angeles Sparks. Adjust by inserting a veteran, and Sid will not play. And we are underway from it. And the Los Angeles Sparks, who come into tonight after dropping their last 4. They've really struggled to defend, allowing 95 points per game. They're losing those games by an average of 21, but off to a good start. An aggressive take by Rakita Jackson.
When you're struggling to score like LA has, you got to turn the corner and get downhill immediately into the paint. And for Indiana, they've got to find ways to get Aaliyah Boston the ball early. With Caitlin Clark, 11 shots a game. Without Caitlin Clark, 7 shots a game. They got to really work hard to feature her inside.
The Fever working hard here on this opening possession. Howard with a shot clock down to 1. Doesn't get it off in time. Games that they haven't had her, the Fever are 2 and 3.
You know, even the advanced pass that might lead to a bucket is what Caitlin Clark's been good at, but the advanced pass to flatten out the defense is equally as important because it opens up the top of the floor.
So Mitchell going to try to do some of that here tonight, but an error. Fever coming off that West Coast swing where they went 1 and 2. As Shea Petty misses Los Angeles' first shot here of the night. Indiana with a nice win over Seattle as Lexi Hull can't finish underneath.
Indiana at back door a couple of times a game. Very well set up by Aaliyah Boston.
Hull got a hand in there to knock it away.
Icing ball screens. You see Lexi Hull jumping on top of that, trying to keep the ball on the same side of the floor.
Oh, here's Hamby, who got position underneath behind Lexi Hull. And a great find there by Kelsey.
Challenging the weak side defense of Indiana. And one of the things that Indiana did coming off the Seattle game, Pat, was being very well connected and communicating on the defensive end.
Mitchell catch and shoot off the mark on a 3. He's coming off the season-high 26 points in Seattle. Give and go, it's Plum to Hamby, who had it set back at the rim. Howard with a block.
Really good recovery.
Here's Jackson on the drive, a lot of contact, a blocking foul. And what a start here for the Sparks.
See Lex minus Caitlin Clark going to Aaliyah Boston. So Aaliyah Boston will probably set a drag and then get their ball reversal and then dive back down to the block is what I'm expecting.
Here is Boston on a handoff to Mitchell.
See, they're really crowding the paint, not letting AB get a touch early.
Hull pulls down the offensive rebound, circles around to the baseline. Indiana's missed their first 3 shots here tonight. Feed inside, Howard deep position and lays it in.
Great cut on the backside by Howard, staying active.
Howard dealt with a ton of foul trouble, played her fewest minutes of the season, just 13 in Seattle on Tuesday. Fever do not have Damiris Dantas here tonight as Lexi Hull, good hands, comes up with a steal, races down the other end of the floor and draws the foul.
I admire the game and the role of Lexi Hull so much because and has made the most corner 3s in the league. Her percentage is just shy of 56% outside the arc pass. Ridiculous number.
And she had her first career double-double in Seattle on Tuesday. Exception, but with the waiving of Dewana Bonner, Mary McDonald has hopefully found a new home here in Indiana.
I believe Indiana is going to play more possessions in this smaller lineup because Sophie Cunningham on the floor now moves to the 4 position. Oh, that's a foul. That's a great job by Sophie.
Mitchell on the drive, shifting, feeds inside, Boston spins, left hand too strong. Hull got a hand on it, knocked away.
Entry into the block.
Hull extra pass, McDonald launches and hits a 3.
You talk about somebody that's thrilled to be back in a Fever uniform. Amber Cox, who is the COO and GM of Indiana, said from the moment she's arrived,
So LA with the first 9, Indiana with the last 7. Hamby crosses over, Boston 6 with her, knocks it away. Cunningham comes up with a steal. Cunningham, McDonald. Look at Lexi Hull, she's been everywhere here in the quarter. And Leah King, give and go in the finish.
Yeah, Kelsey Plum right now hasn't taken 20 points a game, and she's letting the game, setting up her teammates. Doing a really nice job of distributing the basketball.
Here's Boston, who's got this size advantage on Stevens, uses it for 2.
She crab dribbles to that midline, forget about it. Man, she's so good over that left shoulder.
Boston's first scoring on the Knights. 4 different Fever players here on the board in the first 5 minutes. Plum being surrounded. Stevens maybe got away with a push. Dangerous pass. Here is Plum with the shot clock winding down and knocks down a 3 and showing you how she manages to score 20 points per game.
She is a tough competitor.
There's Mitchell, who just blows by Plum on the other end for 2.
I say it all the time, Pat. Nobody plays the game low to high. Yours equal or past yours, you're not going to stop her.
Hamby a little bit behind King. And the Sparks turn it over.
Can't knock her off her line because she plays so low to high. She's always on balance.
Cunningham looking inside. Here is Boston. Give and go. Cunningham is fouled.
Really nice pocket pass by Boston.
The free throw line. And now a word from IndianaWorkers.com.
Look at the ball pressure with this small lineup.
Here's King right up the middle. Shot too strong. Weaver had a chance to take their first lead. Oh, look at Boston running the floor. Kick out Cunningham.
She hasn't found her rhythm yet, but she will, Sophie Cunningham.
Hamby in amongst the trees draws the foul. Lexi Hull called for the reach-in. That's the
challenge for her. It's definitely a challenge given her size. But she's tough, and she will fight you on every defensive possession.
The Fever only have 9 available players tonight. No Clark, no Demiris Dantas. This is the first of 5 Dantas will miss, as she represents Brazil in the FIBA America. Howard bouncing. Boston off the miss. Second opportunity will fall. Better than the next closest player in the league. That's Cardoso, and Boston comes up with a steal. It's a 4-on-3. Look at Boston running the point. Lob it up for Howard. Oh, just too strong there, but we have seen just a brilliant.
This would be a big lineup on the floor for LA.
Jackson back for Plum. Little 2-man game. Straightaway 3. Knocks it down.
Yeah, I watched Rickea Jackson in warm-up. Skill set.
Stevens giving Howard space. Mitchell cutting through the defense. Pretty move. Couldn't finish. Giannis had a couple good looks at the rim, and Mitchell knocked that away from. Shoot it well, too.
I think Kelsey Mitchell has won that more often than not when I have watched their shoot-around. I think she might let him win.
That is my biggest conspiracy theory in the WNBA.
She might let him win.
I think she once or twice maybe lets a teammate in on the action. Wouldn't be good sportsmanship to win every time. Howard had it knocked away underneath. Oh, he's still not got a jump ball.
By now?
Goodness.
How can that not be a jump ball?
It's McDonald who ended up getting in there, so the shortest player on the Fever, but Indiana wins the tip and gives it right back. Petty on a handoff from Russell, working the double screen. Brianna Turner is on the floor here. Again, Dantas out for the next couple of weeks, so you'll likely see more Turner.
And you wonder who's going to score for LA without Kelsey Plum on the floor.
Russell able to track that one down. Fresh 14, Shea Petty. Corner 3 won't fall.
Lynn Roberts giving her star a break while it's just a one-possession game.
Donald driving baseline. Cunningham wide open. Can't hit. She's been cold lately, but Lexi Hull, another hustle play. Draws another possession here for Indiana. She has 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Donald shot clock down to 3. Howard going to have to create. And a A little too aggressive there by Cannon. Bails the Fever out.
Yeah, 1 on the shot clock.
Indiana coming off the game where they shot the free throw really well. Did everything well offensively.
Season, I thought they were connected. They communicated. I thought they rotated. They pre-rotated on the right personnel. They did an excellent job.
And Indiana won the turnover margin against Seattle, the team who is the best at it in the league. And the Fever are +2 in the turnovers here tonight. Jackson had it knocked away. Guess who? Lexi Hull.
Well, they go to horns and they dive on that weak side. Lexi on it.
Howard faces up on the drive, 1 dribble. Petty bounces inside, extra pass, Hamby, that one taken away by Cunningham.
It's a really good read on the backside.
Hull catch and shoot, can't hit the 3. Indiana just... Teams look a little out of sorts offensively here to start the second. Boston knocks it away. Cunningham hits the deck. Fever have forced 11 first half turnovers. Cross court. Here is Cunningham. So, of the season, the Fever are 2-3 without her. Those 9 assists per game right up there among the top of the WNBA.
Changes, the pace changes, and the matchups for the other team change. Now that's 1 less 20-point scorer on the floor for Indiana.
Well, Seattle on Tuesday is such a great example. She, of course, has her standard high assist total, but even when her shot's not falling, just her gravity and how she changes the game helps everybody else. Create space for the Bostons, the Mitchells. Here is Colson missing on a 3. Let's see Hull. She's had a month's worth of hustle plays here in the first half.
You'd like to say there looks like there's 2 of them out there, but she does have a twin sister.
Here's Cunningham, who plays a lot like her. Rims out the 3. There's Colson with the rebound. Howard tracked it down. Jump ball, and Hamby wins it.
I think Lexi Hull had about 30 family members, including her mom and dad, present, and looks like they were having a good time at the game.
She played like she had some people watching.
No.
They're in full support, whether it's in her home state or right here in Indiana. Howard can't hit the 3. Kia Jackson left alone. Her 3 ball won't fall. Sparks 0 for 5. LA has not hit a shot, not scored a point here in the second quarter. We're nearly halfway through it. The Fever with just 4 themselves. They've gone the quarter without Kelsey Mitchell as Boston from 3-point land misses on a 3. At the scores table ready to check in.
Well, that'll automatically speed things up.
Shot clock already down to 10 here. Boston will work on Hamby. Plum comes over to help. Shot clock down to 5. Cross court pass. Colson extra look. Cunningham corner 3. Oh, it won't stay down for her. She's had a couple. And Cunningham backtracking comes up with the steal.
Howard on a single side.
Isolate into Cunningham, who lost the handle.
I told us today that she expected to get some more minutes out of Michaela. Good to see the rookie on the floor.
Shot clock winding down again. Colson fire away. The Fever have scored 5. LA still looking for their first points. They won't get it here.
Good read from the weak side by Hull.
She had it knocked away from behind. This has been a quarter to forget offensively, but for the Fever, they've grown their largest lead, and Hamby finally puts an end to the drought.
Good interior.
Mark of the first quarter. They almost went 10 minutes without hitting a shot. And there, Mitchell hits a 3 for Indiana.
Look, you know you need to get her the basketball. That's on the two-man game, the pin down, and then the read. She and Boston playing well together.
Hamby on the drive, shot too strong, rebound Hull. Pass inside, Boston lays it in.
No pressure on the passer. Boston at the dangerous combination.
Now Plum on the crossover, she can't finish inside. Rebound King. Here is Hamby, Boston stays right with her, reaches in. And both teams thought there was going to be a jump ball, and the Fever come away with it. Colson handoff, Mitchell tight quarters, Mitchell fires it up and draws the foul.
American Airlines Arena in Dallas. Tell you what, I'm looking forward to that Washington-Las Vegas game. Asia Wilson, to me, is her ability to catch around the nail at the elbows. I think she's unguardable in those spots.
And right away in Washington, who some people thought might take a year or two to develop into a playoff team, I think are already going to contend this year as Stevenson. Down on the cross-court pass. Here's Cunningham on the drive.
Zone by LA. It starts like looking like a zone, but I think they match up in the late clock.
Petty looking inside, lobs it in. Great pass for Stevens.
With this lineup on the floor.
Austin and Howard on the bench. The Sparks have taken advantage of that. Mitchell step back three, tough look.
So if you're going to go with this small line a little bit so that this doesn't happen.
They don't pick up Stevens that time. She hangs but leaves it short. McDonald tapped it out, but right into the hands of King.
Likes to go left, Kelsey Plum.
She does drive left, hangs into the air with the shot clock at 1. Petty hits a three.
Yeah, I've been
first strong. Can they close the second as well? Cunningham launches and hits a three.
Flatten it out. Little ghost action right there by Kelsey Mitchell.
McDonald gets inside, kick out Boston. 5 seconds to play. Boston spins off balance, tough look. Stevens comes down with the rebound. And that'll take us into halftime. More deliberate. Here is Kelsey Mitchell. First possession, shovel inside. And Howard too strong on the finish.
So that's a coach's assist, meaning Kelsey Mitchell did her stat sheets.
Mitchell with 2 assists in the first half.
It's still a great teaching tool, Pat.
Fever has a team, have just 5. Jackson shot hangs on the rim, but falls off. Here is Mitchell taking it at Petty, gets inside, kick out Boston from the mid-range is shorts.
Or a few more assisted baskets.
Here is Plum who launches and the 3-ball rims out. She is deep.
And she's only taken 4 shots so far in the game, and 3 of them have been outside the arc. That means she's not getting to the free throw line either.
Mitchell with the right hand way off the mark. Indiana's missed their first 3 shots. Out, that's name of the game without Caitlin Clark. Petty thought about the 3 extra pass. Stevens can't deliver.
Got to start making some of those open shots. It's good ball. Azurá Stevens had a big game against Chicago. I think she had 4 triples in the first.
Trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Indiana looking for their 2nd win in a row. A little too aggressive there.
The free throw line.
Well, Plum fired it inside. Hamby a great position. Extra pass wasn't there. And Mitchell on the other end with the reverse.
I think we're going to see a much more aggressive Kelsey Plum on the ball in the second half.
We had a fast-paced first quarter. This has slowed down significantly since Howard hit the deck, no call, and that turns into an easy 2 for Stevens. Howard fakes the handoff, bounces for Hull, and Hamby got a piece. Hamby on the drive, lays it in. Those 2 combined average 36 points per game. They were held to 8 in the first half. Howard one dribble, gets to the rim, and draws the
high school in Cary, North Carolina.
Howard misses the first.
Sutton Brown.
How about Elena Larkins?
Elena Larkins, there's a good one. Got to dig deep into the history on some of that. It's probably going to be Aaliyah Boston by the time she gets done.
Plum feeds it inside. It's just trying to get that ball on the rim. Did a nice job of it. Now Indiana with a 3-on-1. Pull races, reverses, and finishes.
That's the kind of advanced passing that Indiana needs, and you usually get that with Caitlin Clark.
But Jackson springs free underneath and lays it in for two. Mitchell takes it into Stevens and got 11 minutes in her return to Indiana tonight. That one slips through the fingertips of Hull, and Indiana turns it over. Caitlin Clark to then try to pivot on a moment's notice.
I mean, the Fever have played without Caitlin.
Saw those numbers a moment ago, about 14 less points per game. Plum on the drive, got by Cunningham. Boston gives help, but Plum lays it in.
Plum wasn't looking to do that in the first half. She's clearly trying to get to the rim in the second.
Cunningham inside to Boston, cannon on her. Boston using her size, flips it up, shot falls off. Sparks looking for their first lead since early in the second quarter, and Plum can't deliver. Mitchell 3-on-3, pulls up and hits a three.
Electric in the open floor and exciting.
5 threes on Tuesday. That's her second of the night. And now McDonald dives in and comes up with a steal. Look at the hustle from the Fever newcomer in Boston.
That was a push from behind.
It certainly looked like she was fouled, and Barker on the other end can't hit the three. Hamby pulls it down, gets the foul call with an and one. The gut out a win here tonight, and a whistle off the ball. This one going against Cannon inside. Mitchell off the screen, left alone. There's a foul. She hits a three, and an and one opportunity coming. It was an off the ball foul. Now they're going to take a look.
It's going to be pushing through that Aaliyah Boston screen, and I think the ball was out of her hands.
2025 draft. Donald misses the first. Tonight's Fever trivia question brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It is Aaliyah Boston. Boston, Erlena Larkins, Natalie Achanwa. Donald 1 of 2. Melissa Smith and Candace Dupree.
Well, Candace Dupree was on my list.
Here's Rakia Jackson battling through hole. Shot skips off. And McDonald off that Boston screen. They'll repost Boston. Boston muscling inside, lost the handle. And
she set that screen well inside the three-point line. It just makes less room in the paint. Not just for Boston, but for everyone else to even cut.
Jackson got way too far underneath. Good defense that time by Boston. Ball bounce pass, and McDonald beats the pass back. And one, there's a foul.
It's been slow, a lot of turnovers in the first half, a lot of missed open shots.
Took the lead early in the second quarter, have not given it back. Jackson had it knocked away by Howard. Plum to the rescue. She will launch and hit a three. She's hit a couple of really tough ones tonight.
She only had two baskets here in the second half already. Still has not been to the free throw line, so Indiana's done a good job there.
Hull pulls up, kick out. McDonald left alone, can't answer. But a loose ball.
In the bubble in San Antonio. Pac-12, Tara Vanderveer.
Now the two are teammates. Helping to lift the hardware at the season's end here with the Indiana Fever. The team has gone back up by 5.
Ball pressure is so good with a smaller lineup.
Plum over Howard. Cunningham pulls down the rebound. Outlet pass McDonald. 2-on-1. McDonald right up the gut, and she'll head to the free throw line. At practice yesterday would go on to say, this in the first free throw there.
Well, that's what Amber Cox said, Pat. You know, the COO and GM of the clear fit with style and her mentality.
Job by the front office, Kelly Crosskoff, Amber Cox to pivot here mid-season. As Leah Two King spit, but has found a home here in Los Angeles. Big part of a really good Notre Dame team.
Great versatility on the defensive end. Average a double-double in college.
Mitchell goes behind the back and splashes home a three. What a shot by Kelsey Mitchell.
Kelsey Mitchell, go ahead and shoot till your arm falls off. I love it.
Fever have hit 6 tonight. Half of them have come from Mitchell. That's when she can't play.
Yeah, it's got to be miserable. I mean, it's 5 games that she missed. She had a piece of paper and a pencil over there, and she was sequencing possessions. Stephanie White had asked her to, you know, possessions do we go without scoring? How many possessions do we go scoring, and who scored? I don't see her writing anything down tonight.
Cunningham on the drive into Stevens and lays it in. Tough finish. Cunningham's had a nice night here tonight. 10 points. These fouls are 90% free throw shooter. Rattles in the first.
I mean, it was this season.
But a rare miss on the second attempt. Mitchell's been aggressive in the third and hot in the third.
Come on. Drop coverage.
End of the year is the turning point for Mitchell on the season. There's an offensive foul. Years after 3. McDonald, iso ball, right up the middle, draws the foul.
Yeah.
She's just one of the so many examples. She's had some struggles from the free throw line. Right time, right opportunity. Seems that McDonald has found that here. 1 of 2 from the line. Indiana's lead has hit double figures for the first time tonight. And now Shea Petty will have to get rid of it. Does just in time and lays it in. So Shea Petty staying aggressive. And Indiana has that 8-point lead as we start the fourth quarter. Petty nearly lost it, able to save it. Shot clock already down to 5. Barker drives on Cunningham, flips it up, bank shot too strong, and Boston pulls down her 9th rebound. Oh, spinning. Gets it inside to Howard, who lays it in.
It's a great job by Howard.
Leading scorer behind Mitchell. Backdoor pass knocked away. Inbound underneath. Stevens is bumped. Azare Stevens lays it in with an and 1. And knocks down the free throw. Cuts the lead to 7. It open. Feeds inside. Boston one bounce too far underneath. Cunningham able to save it. Boston on a repost, splits the double team. Offensive foul. Boston just 6 points here tonight, coming off her career high of 31. Stevens deep position, 2 more. It's a little 5-0 Azare Stevens burst, and she's trimmed the deficit in half. Here's Cunningham, drives and draws the foul. Here is Mitchell on the drive into a quadruple team, nearly turned it over.
See them starting to just sink into the paint a little bit more.
Oh, catch and shoot and connects. Big bucket for Indiana.
Screen by Boston to free her up.
Once again, they go to Stevens. And one. And Stevens misses her first free throw up. Fisa Collier and Azare Stevens is the 3rd.
Yeah, I think Azare's having her best season. She had a complete offseason. She was healthy. At 6'6", she's got range beyond the 3-point line.
Boston has good position down there. Fever trying to find her. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Colson, lob inside and a hold. That, and Colson tried to repay the favor, and she's called for the foul.
Colson's like having another coach on the floor. So competitive, so aware of the schemes, and a great voice in practice.
Jackson from the mid-range. On to 4. Still so much time left to play here.
Plum on Mitchell.
Howard inside, too far for Boston, just missed her.
Got to read the weak side D.
Hamby gives it back, beautiful find. Jackson couldn't finish at the rim. Stevens lost the handle. Fever catch a huge break. Now it's Hull out and running.
Well, you had Mitchell for a 3.
Here's Hull. Boston pulls down the rebound, her 10th of the night. Boston's going to go to work here. She's got all sorts of space. Draws the foul. Well, it's got to be an and one. Stevens saying it's offense.
They've gone back to the bigger lineup now.
Boston, handoff. Mitchell knocks it down.
I mean, it's easy money for
tonight. Her 6th 20-point game of the year. Hamby working the baseline, and Boston called for the foul.
Easy money.
And Hamby. This game, something between a 1 and a 10-point lead for Indiana.
Yeah, it's been a 2 or 3 possession game the whole way.
Boston through a double team, gets it up, draws the foul.
Usually when Caitlin's on the floor, it's more space, more cutting, scoring cuts, better floor balance, all of that. And without Caitlin, the space really changes as LA continues to shrink into the paint, except for the Kelsey Mitchell matchup. And you know that LA is going to be in trouble.
Everything running through Hamby here lately for LA. Plum shot fakes the 3. The switch on to Boston. She'll drive into her, sees a quadruple team, and Stevens knocks down a triple.
As a Ray Stevens.
From the floor. That was her first 3. Hull on the handoff, Hull on the drive. Got too far underneath. Jackson has her trap, shot clock down to 1. Boston didn't see it. Quarter.
Good aggressive switch by Howard.
Plum on the drive, Plum to the rim, Plum lays it in.
Such a good take, the lefty going right.
It's a 14-6 run here from the Sparks to get back within 2. Boston on Hamby. Plum showing help. Boston flips it up off the mark. Hamby spinning on Boston. Kick out Plum. Launches and hits a contested 3. And Kelsey Plum has given LA their first. And the Sparks are on a 17-6 run. Hull thought about it, finds McDonald on the drive, Cunningham, extra pass, Mitchell sidestep. Oh, everything but the finish. Hull back to and again, fouls here are free throws. Put the Sparks up by 3 here.
Line by Kelsey Plum. Supposed to be relaxing. I don't know, I've seen a lot of free throw shooters take a deep breath, cleansing breath. She puts a smile on her face.
Cunningham, feet inside. Boston, good position and draws the foul.
I mean, zip it in there.
Kept Boston out of a rhythm, but that pass could not have been any better.
I think we're going to see a heavy dose of Kelsey Plum here for LA to close out this game, and I think Kelsey Mitchell for the Fever.
Aaliyah Boston now at 10. She's got a double-double. Stevens catches, rolls, and finishes.
She's been able to get deep.
Here's McDonald, blows by Plum, lays it in, and a foul. McDonald back in Indiana,
Under challenge on the defense in transition.
Another really good night for the Fever from the foul line, 83%. All level with under 3 minutes to play. Petty being hounded.
After a preseason training camp.
Oh, Jackson, and what an ATO there by Lynn Roberts. And LA. Handoff, Boston, fire away. Leaves the 3-ball shorts. Cunningham out to Hedge, the switch on to Plum, drives into Cunningham, Plum spins, up and under with the scoop shot.
So good going left. It was a good X out by Plum.
Fever been outscored 25-13 in the fourth. They lost a couple double-digit leads on the road. Led briefly by...
She's looking to be aggressive.
Really impressive because as points per game, which is fourth in the league.
And she didn't get to the free throw line until late in the third quarter.
Well, there's three big. Petty looking inside for Stevens. Fever cut it off. Cross-court pass. Jackson. Hamby. Shot clock down to 5. Hamby on the drive. Boston 6 with her. Here is Plum. Can she create? Gets by Boston. Flips it up. Oh, there's a foul called. A foul is called. And before the shot clock, looking at a comeback attempt here to try to snatch this one. And Plum hits the first free throw. Makes it a 3-point game. They did add a second onto the clock. 2 free throws there for Plum. She's got 20. And the lead off the screen on the drive. Kick out Hull. Cunningham swinging. McDonald inside Boston. Deep position and lays it in.
Great ball movement. Really good job and a good seal.
Petty inside Stevens. Oh, McDonald got hands in there and forced the jump ball.
Great anticipation.
Here tonight. Plum leans in, handoff Jackson, bank shot skips around, Hamby the rebound, foul and an and one.
Too many fouls.
And with a rebound, have a chance to tie or take the lead. The lead still at 4. Stevens pulls down the rebound in an and one.
This small lineup at the end of the
here. Fever get a stop. And then that turns into a 5-point possession. Donald saves the possession. Boston a step back 3. Too strong.
Got a foul.
An offensive rebound, a bucket, a missed free throw, and an and one. 5 points on the possession. And the Fever on the verge of falling to 2 and 4 in their games without Caitlin Clark.
Through the elevator door screens, Mitchell not open.
Cunningham launches, way too strong. How about this Sparks fourth quarter? 11 of 14 from the field. Another big sequence in this game when Indiana briefly got that lead to give the Sparks a little momentum going into the fourth. Kayla Timpson in with the tip back, and she draws the opening night. Azure Stevens comes down with the rebound. And an emphatic comeback for the Sparks. Disappointing night for Indiana.